Hello, everyone. Welcome today. Just gonna jump back in and might be a short stream today, so I'm just gonna kind of jump right in and kind of focus on some of the stuff we were working on last time. Last time we were working on the equalizer view and getting that working. So far, I hope everyone's had a good week. Sorry, I'm a little late starting my stream today. Life happens. Had meetings. So, all right, I'm just gonna switch right over to my code. As I said, we're just gonna jump right into this. And let me close everything because I have a bunch open. So last stream, we did a few things. We started working on the vertical sliders, so that way for our equalizer view. And we also did some automatic dark mode switching on iOS, which was kind of fun. And my dark mode needs some work. It's not good, but hey, it started. All right, forms update. Let's actually run some updates first. Make sure we update everything. Gonna get these updated. And we might be jumping in and actually working on the equalizer itself. Let's get all these updates going. We'll run the app, see what it looks like. And then from there, I think I added all the bars. I didn't make everything work, and I think this might be a good opportunity to rework some of the equalizer stuff and really get things working. All right, apply. So the old design was I had a singleton equalizer that would then apply things to the players, which was kind of janky. So we'll probably apply the equalizer. We'll just get all of its data from the one player. And it kind of goes back to the old architecture. The old architecture never had a static player. It would always dispose and recreate players all the time. And if there's crossfading, there was two of them. And so because of that, they would always go talk to the equalizer and say, hey, what settings do I need? Apply those. And then whenever you change them, it would apply them to all the current players. And I changed the architecture now to where we have one player, and under the hood, it now creates multiple audio players and things like that and disposes of them. But the main audio player never goes away. It's our it's there. I mean, technically it could, but we'll just set things there so it has the current equalizer. And that'll make it to where we can modify and adjust and apply the equalizer a little bit differently. All right, looks like I've got all those updates ran. Looking good, looking good. Let's run this puppy. Actually, let's set the topic. All right, making the equalizer work. I spelled equalizer right, I hope. All right, either way. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, some of my generated code with this update, some things changed. That's right, we will just comment this out. Oops. Oh, I have been working on Windows for the past week. So my hotkeys, I just did a Windows key. All right, let's go Keycaster. Hey, Sweeky, welcome, welcome. Whoa, you have a first next to your thing. I've never seen that. All right. Oh, dang it, keep doing Windows key hotkeys. Let's bring this to right here. Nope, wrong one. See, I'm even using the wrong hand. Okay, isn't it command? There we go. I know how to do my hotkeys. Let's run that again. So new keyboard, and I've been on Windows. And so yeah, wrong hotkeys like crazy. I miss my Mac hotkeys. I haven't turned all of my Windows stuff into Mac. I kind of want to, but I haven't done that yet, and I kind of should. Because yeah, it is killing me. And it's funny because I got all the mappings for my new keyboard the way I like them on Mac, and then I switched to Windows within like 2 days. And it's been fun working on Windows. I've been enjoying it. A couple things I don't like, but overall it's been fun working on Windows again. I used to be only Windows for years, so then now I've been Mac forever, and it's kind of fun going back to Windows. I mean, I've always used Windows. The screen next to me is always Windows, but hardcore dabbing on it, that's fun again. All right. Oh, we're in dark mode. Is that from the app or is that from? And I need to fix dark mode. It's right here, default. All right. So the question is that coming from the settings? It is. So let's change the dark mode. Oh, dark mode's under general developers or something? Or just developers? Yeah. All right, so let's switch that back. Now we'll debug again. Let's see how our equalizer stuff's working, and then let's figure out how to hook it up. All right, I'll just do this. Push that up. All right. Hey, search. That's looking good. Where's our data? This one had data, right? Oh, it's on. This one never had data. I never logged into this one. That's not the one we normally work with. We normally work on the XR. I had to switch to 13 in order to try the simulator. I mean, the auto switching for the simulator, for the dark mode and light mode. Is that my door or my music? So over the past few days, like I saw the Ready Player One movie a long time ago, but I've never read the book, and I like to read. A lot of times though anymore, since I just don't have enough time, I love audiobooks because I can do audiobooks while I do other things. Yeah, I can't. Sometimes I can code and do an audiobook, but most it depends on what I'm coding. Most of the time, no, because I like to listen and get into it. Exactly. The book was so much better. So I went and I got the why am I getting slide up panel trait user interface is null. So I listened to the book, and it's Will Wheaton, which is awesome. So I can't really do it if I'm coding. It depends on what I'm coding. With some stuff I was doing for Comet, I've been adding a bunch of the material like color themes in there, and that's just copying and pasting. I can totally do an audiobook like copy and paste, just getting the color things right. But I do it while I like mow the lawn, while I do dishes. I had to like clean out the garage. Yes, listen to audiobooks then. And I like plowed through that thing. I finished it really quick considering it's like 16 hours of audiobook. But it was like Will Wheaton was the one who read it, and it was kind of fun, especially when at one point when he actually had to say his name. Yeah, yes, yes, it was perfect. They're like, especially when he's like voting for him as president of the Oasis. I liked that. But wow, I haven't been that sucked into a book for a while. All right, so I have no idea what this thing is. So something changed in the latest Xamarin.Forms that is breaking traits. All right. Okay, this has to do with. Oh! No, this was not Xamarin.Forms. This is me running my iOS 13 automatic switching on. All right. This is the iOS 13 stuff trying to run on iOS 12. I don't know why that's blowing up. Okay, tomorrow, 12 PST, I am going to watch that. You ping me if I'm not paying attention before, because I will definitely join that. All right, so this null. Okay, so previous trait question mark. Previous trait collection equals null return. Actually, I can just question mark this thing. Let's see what that does. Yeah, I threw this in on my last stream, and now that I switched back to iOS 12, I broke it. This is why unit tests and UI test is awesome, because the app can't even load. So even if I just had the launch test, hey, that works. It would have been good. All right. Okay, good, good, good. Let's make all this stuff work. So this needs to do a pop-up. Active is going to be easy. It just sets the equalizer on or off. Right now, like I was saying, if we look at the old stuff, well, this isn't the old stuff, but do I have anything? I just copied over the equalizer stuff. Then we added a new view for our equalizer. And it goes to equalizer data, which this just hosts the bands. And okay, so that gets us our bands. Now, I don't even have any of the equalizer stuff built then, or copied over here. Because where are all of our individual equalizers? It's all right, we can make, the thing is to make this thing work first, and then we can deal with tying in like all the preset equalizer stuff. Just making sure there's nothing missing that I copied over. We are going to copy over some of the stuff because tying in and applying the equalizer is going to be the same no matter what. So if I go to gMusic, let's go and look at our Apple. Inside here, we will have the equalizer. Whoa, what's going on with that? Okay, let's close this folder. And let's just open that again. All right, so we have our equalizer. Okay, this setup isn't right. Yeah, we're going to rewrite a lot of this equalizer stuff. Some of this is going to be the same, where we have to wait for the track to be loaded to apply it. And this applies it to an AV player item. And AV player item is used whenever we're doing video playback. So this is pretty much only used for video. And the way it works is it creates an audio tap processor that it then ties in and applies those different bands. So a lot of that code we're just going to copy and paste, especially all the audio tap stuff. I'm not rewriting all that. Now how we apply it is going to be different. You'll notice I have an if iPod, which is funny because I thought I changed that. Oh, no, I know why. That's because this is part of the whole Smart EQ thing that I had that would go and check the current song and figure out what it's. I would have like a, hey, get the equalizer for that song, and you could manually set them. I never built that. That's why that's in an if-def. All right, now also in the shared, we should have a couple things for the bass equalizer. Or does that just live in bass player? Dun, 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 dun. All right, yes, it just has it right in there. So what I'm going to do is that we're going to refactor some of this stuff. So whenever we're applying the equalizer, we are going to manually apply it to the currently playing song. To the player. So we're going to set it to this fade player is where it's going to get the apply equalizer. Actually, I saw apply equalizer. Hey, player, apply equalizer. Which probably doesn't do anything. There's going to be a lot of interesting stuff to hook up to this. I guess bass does have. All right, nope, that's commented out. All right, so that's just going to say, well, sorry, my mouse is running away. Let me adjust the angle of my table. No runaway mice, don't need that. Okay, so that looks fine. The bass stuff actually looks good. So all we're going to have to do is talk to the fade player. and throw into the fade player. Fade player should have apply equalizer, but it doesn't have the apply band. Oh, it should have update band. Let's find that. All right, let's put this next to and actually we're gonna undo that. All right, and inside a player, let's bring this back. And those are called, did I just call them band? Now let's go fix that in our class. I don't see player, where'd it go? All right, so now we can just say, hey, apply this or update this. We're getting somewhere, okay. I wonder, so in the current dot apply, it would go to the equalizer dot shared and get the current one. I wonder if that's so bad. Or if we should just store the current one on the fade player. Because if I have an equalizer manager thing, that is going to be platform independent. Its job is to deal with loading the equalizers from the database and keeping track of what the current one is. Let's go look at that old code. So that's the current one, sends the notification. I might bring some of this back. Or I can just host what we want to keep inside of equalizer data. Because once it loads, it can just apply it to the fade player, then never have to worry about that again. So if we do this, we can just borrow some of that other code. Because this is what I'm worried about. Oops. Wrong hotkey. Don't laugh. It's killing me. There we go. All right, so we can also I don't have presets brought over yet. Oh, no, it's there. I thought one of these hotkeys works. There it goes. That one works. Okay, so we've got that. Let's just... I hate making all this static. It's not my favorite, but doing that for right now. State manager. I don't know if I call that state manager anymore. Do I have the equivalent of my old state manager? I think I just had like a settings. Settings.current. Yeah, there we go. Let's bring the notification manager using Zen. Almost did the wrong copy again. All right, so let's bring the presets in. Did I do something wrong? Yeah, I am constantly doing the wrong one. It's when you switch between, it's so easy to get mixed up. I'll get it back. Look, I commented out properly this time. Oh, so is that just freaking out because of this? What's with the band and the 3 bands? Oh, because I didn't make that stat. I made that static and this one's not. Okay. I'm not liking this static everything, but it's fine. All right, so let's go. I'm not going to rebuild those presets, of course. All right, so let's just grab this. Now let's go grab this. All right, throw that in there. All right, that comes from simple database for each in default presets. Bring in system.link. And then this is that big static list of the defaults. That is here. All right, so let's copy this. Let's jump back. I'm gonna throw this at the bottom. Beast of a class. All right, and let's change this back to our settings. Replace this. Oh, wrong. What did I do? Why can't I copy and paste right now? I think I used the wrong copy. That's what happened. I used the wrong key to copy. Let's use the right key this time. My brain's so not used to switching. Yeah, I think I used the wrong one. All right, this apply. We can now do audio. Wait, no. What do I call this? Playback Manager dot share dot nate dot. Stop. Hmm. What did my apply do here? Ah, it just grabbed it all out and grabbed the bands and updated it that way. Okay, I do need some of this code then. Alright, so we're just going to copy these two. And then we're going to remove that. Let's throw that in there. Dot player. Wait, to playback band. Wait, what are my two different bands? Okay. And now which band is this talking about? Oh, from preset to band. We'll just do oh, this isn't static. That's why these are freaking out. All right. That's what I was looking at. Playback.equalizer data.band. Do I have two bands somehow? Yes. How? That must have been during my copy paste. Copy paste fail. All right, try that. Let's see if that works. Just build it. Let it freak out. All right. That's expected. That's just going to be commented out though. Hey R2, welcome. We are making an equalizer work. Hooking it up. By a lot of copy and paste. Is that the only place that's called? We're just going to do... Alright, so let's do playback manager dot share dot player dot up. There we go. Now this thing's job should be pretty simple. Load the current preset. Notify the UI when the preset changes so that way we can update our slider location. And then when something changes, tell this player. And oops, wrong hotkeys again. Dang it. And I've been working on Windows for a while, and now I can't remember my hotkeys. Very, very painful when you don't remember your hotkeys. All right, so right now, I don't have this concept of an Apple library. Actually, it's just living in here, isn't it? That's part of the problem with this architecture. Oh no, that should be fine, because the AV player lives there too. We should be fine. So, Apple, Playback. Um, I have both. I have Base has one, and then I also added one. There's not one that comes on the platform for iOS, but I do have my own that I wrote, and it's this guy. And so what it does is we kind of glanced at this earlier. Let me copy it in. So what it does, and it doesn't need this equalizer stuff. Let's delete this. This class isn't going to work straight out of the box because why would it? Bring that in. All right, so what this thing does is we'll start looking at the code because we got to fix things. Um, where does that get called from? Is that needed? All right, we're going to comment that out because that's just weird looking. I'm worried about a loop. All right, so let's dig through this thing. All right, so I need to grab some player extensions. Oh no, I already have that. We just need to fix namespace. What's this guy's namespace? All right, so these extensions, this makes, if you apply the equalizer too early with the AV player items, it just doesn't work. So I wait until the tracks are properly loaded and it has the types I'm looking for, has audio. Then I can add in this audio tab. So settings dot, not audio settings. Come on. Settings dot equalizer enabled. All right, so I turn it on or off. You can look though. My wife's looking for her computer. All right, so then it'll update the bands. All right, now here's where we'll go. Okay, so this says apply equalizer. That one I'm not sure how to fix yet. So part of the problem is the way the old thing would work, and this maybe I need to reconcile still, is I had to copy the bands here. Whatever was in these bands is what's applied to the equalizer. So as you slid those things around, it would just call this update band. Or maybe it would set that band directly. Those bands had a value. Let me think on this one. And at one point we would apply the latest one. So we would load set the preset. When preset's changed, set the global one. That doesn't appear to be, excuse me. All right. Apply presets. Apparently I locked my door. Okay, so let's, right here on the apply presets, we would set the bands and save those. So maybe we set these on the player. Because the player only ever cares about the bands. It doesn't care about the actual preset, right? Why does it care? So let's change this API and simplify this a bit. So let's go back to, let's delete this. I'm going to delete that. We will leave update band because then we don't have to reset everything. Except we're not doing that. Okay, actually, I don't know if I even need this one. Let's just delete those out of there and see if those are needed. Now we're going to go into our player and we're going to change the way this thing works. Like how my watch is like, congratulations, you've been moving. And I'm sitting still. All right, player is going to apply equalizer. Those are the only two that are required. I think we'll remove the generic one because then it doesn't have to know about anything. It just has to know how to apply itself. The base player has that. Apply equalizer, that one. This one we're going to delete because why? Except I did that. All right, we're going to have to leave that there for now. Figure out why I was doing that and when that's going to be needed. So what it's saying is if the equalizer has never been applied, reset everything. Which means run through this thing, which will go through and set this up. So that's if you don't have the equalizer on, you start sliding things and turn it on, which should never happen. But I'm guessing something's happened at some point. All right, so we've got the AV player. All right, so we're gonna fix this API. Since we'll never need that, we're just gonna always pass it in from there. And then this grabs the current item and passes that in there. I wonder if this should also pass in the item. I don't know. We'll leave it like it is for now. All right, so now let's jump over to player and fix some things. That's in here. Fade player. This is our real player, the one with all the money. The one that does everything. I'm not against it having an equalizer. Or a generic apply. But it should go get the bands from wherever and just apply them there. That way that logic isn't being repeated everywhere. And oh, update bands right there. Sorry, gotta stop yawning. Alright, so what this would do is it would go and get the bands. And for now, let's go look at our equalizer nonsense. I think we need to have the current. Oh, we have bands. And what we'll say is we'll say equalizer data dot bands. And now since base really wanted this, we're going to do the same thing here. No override. All right. Oh, right. I brought up Ready Player One, the book. I was shocked how different the book was from like the movie. Like, I know there's always differences, but that was like inspired by, not based on. Shocking how different it was. Blown away. If you haven't read it, go read it or go listen to it. Like I was saying, that Will Wheaton version was awesome. Really liked it. All right, so let's build this thing. See if we can get if it builds. All right, and this is inside of Fade Player. And that'll work. Yeah, I mean, Will Wheaton. I just did another book of his. I wonder if Books is gonna tell me, move this off, who read them. Did he do the hack? I think he was the. I think he did Hackers. No, it wasn't that one. Masters of Doom. Will Wheaton also did Masters of Doom audiobook, which was really good. But yes, it's kind of fun having him do the audiobooks. All right, now we're in a hot mess. Let's see what's going on. All right, less errors. Less errors. Yay! That's why I have it. It just caused this thing all over the place. But we don't have. Oh. Oh. That's okay. So the thing is, since this thing can fade, there can be two players, and so it has to apply it to the one that's not live. But that's okay. We'll just fill it like this. That's why I got tired of doing that. I get lazy. And I just put a generic that knew how to look those up. But I kind of want more of separation of concern to where those ones don't have to know about that. That's why I have this player class that deals with all of this. Hey, Zergberg, welcome. Yeah, also, that book let me know how lacking all of our VR technology really is. I can't wait till it's better. More like that. I just hope we don't have to destroy our world to get to that point. I've noticed that so many of the books that I like have to do with some dystopian style future. And of course I like movies like that as well. I don't know why. My wife was pointing that out last night. She's like, I don't know if I should be disturbed by how messed up your taste seems to be on a lot of this stuff. I'm like, oops, yeah, I guess I see your point. The world's like always ending. or in such a bad place. All right, so I need to allow unsafe for my audio tap stuff. My audio tap stuff does do unsafe. Gotta tap that memory. It's audio tap stuff. All right, update volumes. This thing is alive. Is that where I stored those? Guess it is. All right, so this equalizer tap for the AV audio player, it also snags out those audio levels, because how else do you get that from an AV audio player? It's funny. AV audio player is such an interesting API. There's like 6 different versions of it. There's like the AV audio player, which is pretty cool, but then it's lacking a lot of things. There's the Q player, which is also pretty cool, but also like none of them do the exact same thing or even have a similar thing. Like the AV audio player, you actually say, "Hey, give me the audio levels from it." You can't do that on any of the other ones. It's like, come on, guys, you're killing me. All right, so now we have an equalizer working. We think. I think. Now let's hook this puppy up. Let's do some stuff. So inside of our view, let's go to our equalizer view and hook all this nonsense up. All right, so okay. Let's just give this X name active switch. So we've got that. We have this button. We have the button that we can hook into. And then we have all of our little grids. Now, in my old one, like I said, I saved. Oh, did do tag. I added tag. Tag didn't exist. I forgot. We added tag. So now when these things change, we can say var sender or var slider equals sender as vertical slider. Now we can say we know what the index is, so we know what to change. So now if we do equalizer data, so we're this, oh no, not update band, right? Do I not have update band? Thought this one totally had band. So that's the only place it lives. Okay. So we're going to also do public static void and the gain is a float. And then we'll do this too. That's what it is. All right. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. That's done. That's done. Let's jump into this code class. Now we should be able to just say slider dot apply or no dot update band, and we'll say slider dot tag, and then we'll also just say slider dot. We can just say e dot new value. All right, and I think that'll work. Let's hope. Let's also do console.writeLine e.new value. We also want to say if settings.equalizer enabled, because we don't want to actually pass that thing off and really apply this thing if it's not on. Now let's do one more thing in here. We will say active slider. Actually, that's in case it changes outside. We'll do override on appearing. We'll say active switch dot on. Is it dot value or dot on? Do I have to do set value? That doesn't seem right. No. Dot. What's the value thing on this thing? I hate when things are named where you're like, I have no idea what that property is. Enabled? No, it wouldn't be enabled. Toggled. Horrible name for that thing. Settings, bringing this in. Dot equalizer enabled. And then, oh, that's the event handle for toggled. Well, we are going to and let's be good citizens, and we're going to do this on appearing, and then, although it's never, this thing is a one-time, once and done. Equalizer data dot. What's so in the old one, I'm trying to remember how this worked because something happened to say it like disable it. And we actually have to, let's go look at the old UI. Let's see what it does. View controllers. I wonder if it also applied, which I don't like. All right, so this one does a dun, 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 menu button, menu. We do need to hook into the equalizer changing so that way we can update our UI based off that. Oh, so it just did equalizer shared dot active. So that's our old equalizer class here. All right, let's bring that over. I'm okay doing that. Oops. Okay, and I don't have a clear. Knew I was missing something. So I'm like, we have to be able to, if you turn it off, we need to clear the equalizer. Pretty simple, go through each band and say nothing. Let's go put this down with the update bands and the applies. We'll throw clear right there. I need to fix this window. It keeps covering my chat. Good, didn't miss anything. All right. Perfect, that looks good. So now in our equalizer view, we'll just say equals not, or e dot value. We'll just set it to that, right? Okay. Now on appearing, is it not value? I'm gonna have to Google this stupid thing. Anybody watching know what the value is for whether is toggled. Is toggled. We'll just set it to the same value so they're consistent. All right. This looks good. That might actually work. All right, here we go. All right, it's up. Let's try this. Okay, so I'm gonna just press play on this. I hear audio, you don't. Oh wow, my mic's been clipping. Has it sounded bad, guys? Anybody? I've just noticed that my mic was clipping. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. All right, so I'm gonna turn it on, which shouldn't do anything. All right, these should do something. It did not adjust the audio at all. Well, why isn't this outputting the value? I'm sorry, but I do not see the output. Why don't I see output? Things when you're constantly changing it. Okay, I'm glad you didn't hear anything weird. But why don't I see my console output? Is my console thing stealing it? Yes. I thought it didn't steal that. See if this does it. And we'll say slider.tag. Oh, and oh, no, there. Need my debug outputs. I can't do some of this without that. And I do have the right modules, right? Yeah, I have libfx. Pause my music so I don't go crazy. All right, -1 to 1. That's right, because that's the range. Okay. Oh, I could have sworn I had that on. Let's go check out some other stuff then. Let's check in base. All right, it's definitely working. Band isn't right. It's not supposed to just be 3. That's not right. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. What it's supposed to do is pass in. Let's go look at this really quick. I wonder if this is supposed to be. I wonder if that's supposed to. Go look at some old code. Because I don't think it's the index. Leave that right where it was. If we look at the old stuff, the apply equalizer band. And then the bands have the center. This update band int, that's interesting. Because that's exactly what we just copied that from. The preset also has the value on it, which makes sense because presets have those. Tricky, tricky. But that I know is wrong. What's it do on the AV or on the iOS one? Okay, so this one does take the index. Because I set what those are ahead of time. On base, I don't think that's right. Well, that's annoying. Get the values of the selected band. Maybe that's fine, because it's going to say the one. No, that's right, because that does it based off indexes. Let's see when I'm creating this thing. When I'm creating it, I set the gain. And I set the center. Let's see when this is actually hit. Oops, I didn't mean to type there. All right, so let's see. Center set at 32. Gain is set at 0, which is right because everything's in the middle. So what this does is now when that slides, it's going to go and say, for this band, go get this thing out. Which means that this EQ should have a gain of 0. Now when I press, oh, and also a center of 16, because that's the last one we did. Now when we look at it, this one is going to have a center of 32, because that's the one I'm tweaking. And then it should set its gain to 0 to... The gain just got set to... It just got set to 1. Why is this off again, though? Equalizer view. Oh, actually, that way it properly gets applied. Excuse me. Feel tired. Should not feel so tired. Oh, did my topic thing not work? I noticed my topic never changed. Doesn't look like it didn't work. Oh, whoa, what happened? Yeah, something didn't work. Let's close that. Okay, that's working. That's weird. Alright, so now active is true. Actually, let's remove the breakpoints. Does it happen at the right time? Maybe we'll change that to where it does it before it loads. Because I don't want to see an animation of it flipping. It's kind of wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. Set the value on start, not just on appearing. Alright, and it says it's on. Pause my other music. Bringing this up to max, if the equalizer is working, should distort anything, and it's not. Yeah, that's not making a difference at all. I wonder if that so I think the problem is we're setting it at just like 1, which is nothing. Whereas if you notice the old code would do it, oh, I bet the old one I set a max of 15 or something. Oops, not that, wrong thing. Let's go look at, I think I know. All right, so in this one, when it changed, I don't think this was set at a min of 1, and I think it was set at like 12, not 1. Where is create slider? All right, range. What's our range? Range is 12. 12 people. 12. That's our problem. I'm only adjusting it by 1 instead of 12. So easiest thing, instead of leaving it at, oops, come on. If we leave it at 1 and -1, we'll just multiply it by the range. Oh no, I don't want that here. we're going to do that. Actually, what is the data? Actually, let's look at the data first. So if we look at our playback stuff, we're going to look at equalizer data. What's the range on these? I think those are out of 12. Are those out of 12? Those don't go very high. Let's, again, look at the old code. And we would apply, that might be out of 12. You know what, we're just going to do it out of 12. And see what happens. Equalizer view. When this value changes, we will say new value times range. Right, and we will also, yeah, let's just run that. Let's see if that fixes it. I bet that's why we never heard the sound fluctuate. Well, I couldn't hear it. You guys can't hear it anyway. But I think that's why I couldn't, because if 12 is our max adjustment and we were only going through 1 to -1, yeah, that's not going to adjust the sound at all. At least not with my current audio setup. I wouldn't be able to notice that. All right, so once that works, let's press play. Yes, that's working. It sounds horrible. And just turning it off work. Oh, wait. Okay. Turning it off and on's not doing it right. It did something. Why did our gain get reset? Something reset all of our gains. Alright, so let's stop start, mess it all up again. So hard not to sing along to that song. Alright, that messes with our bands, like I'd expect. Let's remove that for a second. Did clear reset all those? What did clear do? Okay. That's wrong. Because we don't want to truly update those bands. We just want to do this. We don't want to truly clear it. We just want to clear it as far as the Playback Manager is concerned. We're going to reset everything. I 0. That was my issue. And now I'm going to put a breakpoint for when clear is hit. Alright, so we're going to apply the equalizer. Resets, ignore the extra looping. Why am I not checking on that? Let me do one other thing, because that's stupid. So dumb. Alright, so let's go into active. So if active equals value, return. Don't like all this extra double applying. We will see if I stop yawning by the end of the stream, but chances are not looking good. What's my breakpoint? Oh, I didn't realize I had a breakpoint hit. Alright, so let's press play again. Sounds horrible. Turn it off. Run our clear. Sounds good. Turn it on. Sounds horrible. Alright, so yay! This works! We just need to get some presets in here. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Alright, let's get some presets in there. Increase that bass some. Alright, that's really cool. I'm excited. Let's remove some debug stuff because we don't want to see that all that like crazy. Now let me know that's good. Alright, let's save that. Alright, let's commit this. Equalizer sliders now work. Push that up there. Start my music again now that I don't need that on. Okay, so we've got that. So on the old one, I think I just do a table and I push when you tap. I push forward. Let's do something like that. Let's do an equalizer. Let's just do a view. And it's just going to be a basic list. Yeah, I think I'm just going to push. I don't think it needs to be a modal or anything. And we could do a modal. That's right. We'll decide. All right. This guy is going to be very basic. It's just going to be a list view. This is basic enough. I should just do it in code. I never remember this stupid syntax. List view dot item template. Wrong copy code again. Again. All right, now this is just going to be isn't the text cell? It was originally called string. Maybe it was always text. I thought it was originally string. I don't remember. All right, text cell. And we'll just say text binding. And let's look at those. What are those things called? There's equalizer preset. And it is called, is it just ID? Name. All right, so we have a name. That's about it. And item source will be the binding template. Do I have to do anything? I mean, it will just be the stuff. Hey, thanks for the follow, Hisam. All right, so I'm trying to remember on this. Do I need to do item source equals? It's just gonna. It should auto get the binding context, right? Or do I have to tell it it's the dot or whatever or binding context? It's right. We're gonna try not. I think if I set the binding source, it should just work. Binding context equals equalizer data dot presets. All right, now what we're going to do here is on this, we're going to say, when they can't find the Nintendo, the world is over. All right, item selected, new event handler. Did that create it? Yes, it did. All right, so we're gonna do public task. Await select. And we're gonna do. So what I like to do here is just do a task completion source, and it's gonna be equalizer. Isn't it called a preset? Equalizer preset. All right, so we have this puppy. All right, now if we push this, we will say tcs.trySet canceled. And then we'll say on the selection changed, we'll say var item equals e dot selected item as equalizer preset. And then all we'll say is cs.trySet result item. All right. And now here we'll say title equals strings dot, come on, add that in there. Anytime now. Strings dot equalizer presets. All right, so now in our equalizer view, we can just go to our button. Where is it? Button, this guy. Oops, did not mean to hit enter again. Oh, wrong command control. All right, we've got that. Now what we can do is we can say, oh no, we already have it here. All right, so we should have, all right, so now here we'll say await, no, we'll say var picker equals new equalizer picker page. Now, what do you guys think, modal or navigate? Either way, yeah, any thoughts? New toolbar item. Strings.cancel. And then we'll do tcs.trySet canceled. Modal? Yeah, I kind of think of modal. That's why I tied up that toolbar. So now we'll do we'll do this dot navigation dot push modal async. New navigation page, picker. All right, then we're gonna wait picker. I know, async void. Picker dot, all right. Var, we're calling this thing equalizer equals, and now we'll say catch task. Did I spell that right? Isn't that right? It's a task canceled exception? Oh, right, there it is. Ah, fix my spelling. 1L. Alright, so we don't care on that. So we now await to get our equalizer. Oh, I didn't do that right. Task. There we go. Type that puppy. So now we have our equalizer, and now we can say equalizer data dot apply preset. All right, now we also want to say notification manager dot share dot equalizer changed. All right. What we'll do is we'll just add another one down here. Void apply equalizer preset. All right, so now we'll do this, which will do that. We'll call this on appearing. Let's set this up right. So we're going to move this down to on appearing. And then on disappearing, we're going to minus that puppy. They're scavenging for Nerf darts. All right, so those Nerf darts he found hurt bad. They're from Amazon, and they've got like this plastic tip. They're gonna be sad when they shoot each other with those. All right, equalizer changed. Perfect. We'll do apply. And now equalizer data dot. And we'll do this on appearing. Apply that thing, apply that. That looks good. Now I don't think I need to do it right here. I think that this will then send the notification, which will do it. So we're just going to leave it as it is. Now for each, no. For var I equals 0, I is less than preset dot. Is it double values I'm looking for? Values. Actually, let's go look at. No, we just have to apply the bands because this is going to deal with the bands. Let's do that. That's what we do. Now it's in the format we expect, so we know how to interact with bands. equals 0, I plus is less than bands dot length I plus plus. All right, so now we can say sliders I dot value. It's lowercase. Dot value equals dot gain divided by range. I don't even need that. That's right. We'll just see if that does it right. And device dot begin invoke on main thread, just for kicks. You know what I mean? Actually, I have my stuff. I have my device dot ensure. No, app dot ensure. Don't I have an ensure? Did I not copy that stuff over? Go look at my app. I could have sworn I brought that stuff over. Really? I did not do my own thing. I didn't bring it over. That's lame. That's right. We're just going to continue with what we have. Why not? Okay, so device. Actually, well, some of you guys are here. So we're all used to doing this invoking pattern, right? We've all done this a million times. I want to show you something different and get your guys' feedback. Are there people here willing to give feedback? Are you guys awake enough? Paying attention enough? Or am I just off on some other screen muted while you guys work? I know that happens. I think I've already asked you, Sweeky. That's right. So we all have this invoke pattern, which is cool and it's okay. Let me open up a new window. It's right. I'll take your feedback and then it's recorded. So you can't go back on it. Oh, all right. Gain. Index out of range. Our index is 0 and our bands is 10. How is that out of range? How is that possible? That is trippy. You guys can't hear the dog when she barks, can you? Figured my noise gate would get that. Have you heard the kids as they've come in? That's the real question. What is it doing? I shouldn't, but the index is 0. I did less than? So I shouldn't have to minus 1? Okay, it actually wasn't my dog barking. This song has sampled the dog barking. And that's one of the something. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I don't hear her barking. Maybe the sliders isn't done yet. Sliders aren't done yet. Okay. That's easy to fix. Count. Sliders is never empty, right? And so then I also need to how is that possible? We create them all right here. Mind blown. Oh, do I not add them to the sliders? That's the issue. My sliders list was empty. It's like it should never be empty. It is when you don't add the controls to it. Actually, a better check would be if sliders.count length or count is not equal to the length of that. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that list selection stuff didn't work, and I didn't actually make the cancel button work. Pod navigation. All right. Oh, and now we need to so forms bind list view items to binding context. I just want to do the binding to the binding context. Is it? I think I do this. Okay, I think I know the syntax. I think. I think it is item source binding dot. I think that's it. And now let's also, I want to make sure inside that equalizer picker that's, oh, we'll find out in a minute. That didn't work! Cancel. Cancel works now though. Getting somewhere. All right. Ignore that then. What we'll do. Take that. Oh, and we're also going to just need to make sure a few things work once this happens. We are not updating the label right now, which we need to do. Is it data bound? All right, so check it out, acoustic. All right, so that is now applying the equalizer preset. Let's press pause, play on that. It did not dismiss. That's my own fault again. Run that again. All right, let me make sure this loaded. All right, so on the thing of threading, right, we all are used to the device.invoke stuff. So inside of, actually, I'm in the wrong sample. Let me launch switch one. That one. All right, we'll come back to this while that loads. All right. Dance. Check it out, the equalizer applied. It didn't update the other stuff. Pause my music. See if I can notice between them. Oh, it helps turn it on. Yes, it is making a distinct difference. Super exciting. All right, so let's stop that music. Let's run that again, because I thought the equalizer was already active. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I turned it off during our last testing. All right, so let's talk really quick about threading and stuff, right? So with the device.invoke, we're doing stuff with a lot of stuff with async and await. And I don't like that. I don't like having to just invoke, which does all the callback nonsense. So there's something. Does this not have that? Oh, come on. I could have sworn I put it into this one. All right. Either way, the thing I added, because right now you'll notice doing task.delay 100, we've left the main thread. And I want this update to happen on the main thread. I think I removed it because it shouldn't matter. So I want to be able to do thread helper dot await or dot switch to main thread async. What do you guys think about that? Now, whenever this happens, once that await happens, the next line, you're on the main thread. I know async and await is a really tough and complicated thing, and realizing what thread you're on can be hard. And you can also do await thread helper dot what's the other? Oh, maybe I didn't do it. I was thinking about doing one where it like sends you to the background thread. But you can always just do throw your stuff into, instead of like doing task.run, you can do thread helper.run. So that way it'll guarantee it's on a background thread and you won't overload the main thread, overload in threads and all that type of stuff. So you can do that and even await that. Anyone listening have thoughts on that? By the way, this was not my idea. It's totally borrowed from Visual Studio. If you're building an extension in Visual Studio, this is how they do it. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? Okay. Yeah, I like that you don't have to do into this like invoke. So inside a comment, I actually removed device.invoke. And whenever you want to switch to the main thread, you just await thread helper.switch to main thread. And you're on the main thread. Or you can just do, you do have thread helper.run on main thread. So you still do have that ugly syntax if you want it. But that's the same as doing device.invoke on main thread or whatever. You can await switching to the main thread, which I find really handy. I just think it's cleaner syntax. All right. Now that that pops and does its thing, let's run this again. Oh, I already did have it running. Why did I stop and start? Oh well. All right, so let's pick piano. It's dismissing. Let's cancel. Perfect. Cancel. That's working. Why are my bars? Why don't I have color? I need more color. What did the old one do? White on white on white. Needs an accent. That's right. Let's, now that that's going, let's jump into this back end, the equalizer view. And when that thing changes, we were going to see how does that get its value. Brings default. That's that one. Picker. Picker, picker, picker. Oh, text flat. So funny. Hilarious. All right, so now that we don't need to deal with the picker, picker works great. But I do like that pattern a lot when I need a picker, guys. Doing this like task completion source and then just give it this thing like await for it is super handy. You can then set canceled, exceptions, or the value. And then when I'm using it, I just say, hey, await for this value. I love this pattern. I use it all the time. All right, now we have, what's that button called? The button, equalizer picker. Also, the nice thing about awaiting, if you're already on the main thread, it's going to not do anything. It's just super quick, so you don't have to check if you're on the main thread. That's the other thing I like about it as well. Name. All right, now what we need to do is on appearing, current preset dot name. Also, doing this apply equalizer, I just want to make sure. Oh, no. What I want to do, current preset equals preset. I think doing it this way will save it to the settings. Yes. So now when we reload the next time, it'll remember what preset you had it on. Because you don't want to have to come to the screen and change it every time. All right, this is pretty good. We got the equalizer working. Actually working. At some point, I might want to jump in and get YouTube working. Embedded YouTube videos. Because why not? Equalizer. It's on. That didn't match. That's not matching! Alright, so the equalizer changing is not actually applying it. Alright, we're gonna do that because why wouldn't you apply it? Much better. And then the apply equalizer preset should not be public. Because just set that one. Oh, let's do that. I like that much better. Now it can't be called 3, 4 different ways, just one. Which will then even update the band. I like that. Tell the UI to update itself. Perfect. All right. Now I thought we did on appearing. We did not. Find all references. I thought I did. That's when that changes, and on appearing. Right, all those gains are set at 0. We also do on equalizer data load. It should set the current preset. Setting the current preset should fix all that data, all this stuff. All right, so let's look at, maybe I messed something up. No, this sets the bands. Old preset is not equal to null, or old preset equals value. What? I think that's all wrong. Right, I don't think I need any of this old nonsense. Because I already say if current preset is not equal to that, or if they equal each other, return. I don't even know what that old preset nonsense was doing. Let's see if this fixes it. Go equalizer, UI, NSYNC. All right, now it's on appearing, applies it. Ahaha! Yes! Beautiful. What we could do, let's see what that does. Oh, that's a double. Oh, that it's band.gain. All right, let's try that. Maybe it'll start out set now, and so we won't have to see that animation. Come on, type add. All right, now let's change it to like rock. Now let's stop and start, and it should start on rock with that familiar V-ish look. All right, started right. I like it. I like it. We need to make all these things work and have an icon. It's looking good, looking good. Okay, trying to think. We've got that working. It's not the nicest looking screen, but it works. I wonder what else we should do. I want that more centered. Yeah, it's really fun to get this working. Now, this does not work on Android because I could not figure out how to do vertical sliders on Android. Didn't work. Like, the values will work, and applying the equalizer will work, but how it actually looks is kind of wrong. All right, let's see what this does. All right, sorry. Looked at the other screen, got distracted. Android emulator started, still deploying. It's funny, I had time to get distracted and realize I was distracted, and we don't have anything up yet. Hate these emulators. Any day now. It's gonna do it. So maybe one of you Android fans who are watching can actually send a pull request and fix these sliders because I was confused. Didn't feel like keep fighting it. All right, one sec. I have to take a call really quick. I think my car is finally done in the shop. Hold on. All right. So yes, this is what Android did when I tried rotating. We get little dots, which don't do anything. They move like half an inch, or not. Sorry, a centimeter or so. Yay! It went up. It went down. So yeah, there's always odd things with Android. I always have issues with it. So I'm not the biggest fan of Android. And then that. Okay, that was really slow, but that worked. So yes, the equalizer works, and we can apply them. We just don't have sliders. So yes, if there's someone who loves Android and wants to dig into a weird layout issue, I'd love a pull request. Or I'm going to have to dig in and fix this at some point. I will, if no one else does. All right. Where are we at on this? So that's looking pretty good. I think we have the equalizer minus those buttons at the bottom, quote unquote, done. So R2, did you see my little sample on threading? And were you paying attention then? And do you have or have any thoughts on it? Anyone else on? Have any thoughts? All right. So show it one more time. One more time. All right. So there's the whole device invoke on main thread stuff, right? But I'm thinking of switching, and so I've already switched it in comment. Instead of doing that, I added this thread helper. And you can await switch to main thread. What's your thoughts on that? Instead of the whole like typical you do like device dot invoke. I just did it. So yeah, instead of doing this where you're doing things inside of callbacks and callbacks, just what's spoopy? Spoopy. Yeah, so this whole await. Am I gonna jump back off after? What do you mean? Yeah, it's different. You still can do thread helper dot run on main thread. So I'm not completely abandoning that stuff because people like this stuff. But I don't know. I think that looks cleaner. Await switch to main thread. And it's explicit what thread you're on now. So if you want to jump back off later, you can do any of your standard task stuff. You can also do thread helper dot run, and you can just run a task in here. So any old task. So task foo. You can say run foo. That's now going to be on the background thread, and you can await that. Now, since the way tasks work, we're now back on the main thread. Doesn't that? Oh, that does just do. Yeah. So that works, or whatever. So, I mean, I've thought about doing. I can easily do thread helper dot if we wanted to do the switch to background thread. I haven't built that yet, but I can add that. That's really easy as well. So it just depends on what you're doing. Like, so if you're on a background thread, it'll let you explicitly switch. If you're already on the main thread, um, yeah, I mean, on this one, there's no, but I don't want all this like awaiting and creating the random and all that on the main thread. This is just ran in a task.run. Actually, you're right. Will I switch back to the main thread? Hmm, I'd have to test that. All right, one more second. Phone's ringing again. Hold on. All right. Yeah, you might be back on the main thread. I need to toy with that. That's interesting. So yeah. But the idea with the whole switch to main thread is it ensures that you're on the main thread. So if you're already on the main thread, it's not going to do anything. But if you're on a background thread, it brings you back to the main thread. Yeah, that's true. I'm curious, yeah, if you need to jump back and forth. I mean, it should be fine on a main thread anyway, like even if you were always on the main thread. But yeah, that was just an example. This one, since it's in a loop, is kind of a bad example. Because now you're on the main thread. Should you be on the main thread? Should you be jumping off of it? But I can always do like, yeah, wait, thread, helper. Thought it was dot run. Oh, run async, that's the one I was thinking of. Where I can just do, but create random isn't a task. If it was, I think that's the right syntax. Dot run async func. Okay, that's getting really ugly. I need to clean that up if I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's really ugly syntax when you start listing it down that far. So I need to make any function just run, not even necessarily a task. Yeah. Just things I'm playing with. Just looking for feedback. So I didn't come up with that myself, though, as I said. I totally am borrowing that from what's it called? Visual Studio does something almost identical to that. So it's where I got it. Yes, in this case, I will continue looping through on the main thread since I joined the main thread once. No, this isn't insider secrets at all. This is actually all public. If you build an extension for Visual Studio, you are going to use this exact syntax. Not insider at all. Not insider at all. And on top of that, they published the magic that makes it work inside of a Nuget. I just wrapped it to make it to where it's nice and simple. But if you look, Microsoft.visualstudio.threading. I just didn't want to send you that namespace, and I wanted to do all the setup for you. So all you have to do is thread helper.this. So no insider secrets at all. I'm better than that. I'm better than that. All right. Well, I think I'm going to end my stream on that today. Really, though, I need to get some more feedback and I need to play with this more. And it'd be nice for us to be able to play with this pattern and give me some thoughts on what they like, what they don't like about it. Because I kind of like the idea of just awaiting and staying where you're at rather than jumping between. I just never liked that whole. I mean, I can do that. It's still there. I didn't ditch it. It's still there. But I hate all the callbacks. I really do. I'm anti callbacks. All right, we should see if anyone else is streaming. We should jump in and raid someone else. Ooh, Nick Larson is working on an ML thing. Machine learning stuff's always fun. All right, ooh, spell his name right. I misspelled the name once while trying to raid, and it freaks out. Twitch does not like misspelling. All right, so I'm going to end my end button. Thank you guys for joining along. I'm going to try and get some more comment streams in and really work on some of the stuff with the threading. So that stuff's interesting. I'll definitely try and get those going, more of them. So thanks, guys. Let's jump over and check out Nick's machine learning stuff.